This presentation is brought to you by Roosevelt University. Today, our leader profile will highlight Angela Merek. From our introduction, we will be covering the leader, her position, her background, educational level, effectiveness as a leader, how she has successfully impacted injustice, and leadership theories and concepts relevant to her style. Now we will cover the leader and her position. Early on in her political career, Angela Merkel was the deputy spokesperson for the German reunification. Other positions that she has held as a leader were Minister for Women and Youth, Minister for Environment, General Secretary of the CDU, the Christian Democratic Union, Chairperson of the CDU, Leader of the Opposition in Bundestag, the German Federal Parliament, and finally, Chancellor of Germany. Now for a little background about Mrs. Merkel. Merkel was born Angela Dorothea Kostner in 1954 in Hamburg, West Germany, the daughter of Horst Kostner, a Lutheran pastor and native of Berlin. She has two younger siblings, Marcus Kostner, a physicist, and Irene Kostner, an occupational therapist. Regarding her education, in grade school and high school, Merkel learned to speak Russian fluently and was awarded prizes for her proficiency in Russian and mathematics. She was the best in her class in mathematics and Russian and completed her school education with the best possible average. Merkel continued her education at Karl Marx University, Leipzig, where she studied physics from 1973 to 1978. Near the end of her studies, Merkel sought an assistant professorship at an engineering school. Merkel worked and studied at the Central Institute for Physical Chemistry of the Academy of Sciences in Berlin-Adlershof from 1978 to 1990. After being awarded a doctorate for her thesis on quantum chemistry in 1986, she worked as a researcher and published several papers. Angela Merkel is a scientist who became a world leader. She has shown her effectiveness as a leader by fending off a long-term recession in Germany at the time the global economic crisis hit by introducing economic stimulus packages and shortening working hours, whereby workers work less but had their earnings topped up by the government rather than business. As a result, Germany flourished in the crisis. Perhaps no other phrase uttered during Angela Merkel's long chancellorship has made such an impact as these words. Wir schaffen das. We can do this. Were meant to express confidence in the face of a huge self-imposed task. In a matter of a few weeks, 10,000 people had come to Germany, mostly via what became known as the Balkan route. Many of them initially stuck in Hungary. The majority came from Syria, but others from North Africa, Iraq, or Afghanistan. Merkel let them enter Germany even though other EU member states were officially responsible for them under the Dublin regulation, which stipulates that asylum seekers must be registered in the first safe EU country they encounter. Instead, Germany allowed people to cross the border first and have their asylum claims checked later. Germany has opened its doors and borders to all those searching for refuge and a safe haven. Relevant leadership theories and concepts in regards to Merkel. A review of the theory of leadership servants would also place her in the category of a servant leader. Merkel is a leader who develops people, helping them to strive and flourish. Servant leaders like the Chancellor want those they serve to become healthier, wiser, freer, and more autonomous. She listens, shows intimacy, distributes equity, demonstrates stewardship, is persuasive, and shows awareness. Merek's actions during a time of crisis reflect the Leipzig leadership model. Her purpose, effectiveness, responsibility, and entrepreneurial spirit. All aspects of the Leipzig leadership model were encompassed in her humanistic worldview, pragmatic systemic thinking and acting, orientation towards her contribution to the greater whole, and her modest and authentic appearance. In summary, Merek is an authentic leader. She is extraordinary. She knows who she is. She does not try to be anything else. She has a set of strong values and she understands Germany's history well, and that's probably because she comes from East Germany. She has a certain humility that comes from her particular biography. She fights for her country and for her people. She is analytical. She's fierce. She's a very skilled politician. She didn't start out that way, but she certainly has become just that. And she knows how to operate on the world stage. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. For further review of the legacy and leadership style of Angela Merek, please follow up on the references that I have included in this presentation. Thank you once again. Thanks again for your time.